Good day to everyone and welcome to our program, Navigating the Times. Thank you so much for joining us. We are waiting for Facebook to notify our tribe to join. But in the interim, I want to create a segue for why we are here this evening. I had indicated earlier in our early session about the fact that at every point of birthday celebration, there's always a rethink, a thought process that you want to have to engage with people on an intentional basis. So that's my turning point. My birthday was a few days ago, and that was what I gave as my own present, the ability to engage, to have conversations with people, and also for those who are following me to also learn, and I can learn from them as we all make it through this time. This is a time that is different. It's unique, it's unexpected, it's a surprise to all of us. But after all, we are here and we have to navigate. We have to navigate through this time. We have to accept the change. There is a change that has come to stay, whether we like it or not. It's a change that has come to stay. But for a minute, if you only look around and see the signs everywhere you turn, that this is a readjustment, this is a restarting. We are all given an ability to have a platform to go and set a restart button. So this is the time to restart that button that you and I might have put on hold for a minute. So what are we here for today? What is the purpose? The purpose is to engage those of you who are watching and who would watch later, to tell you that calm, let there be calm in you. This is not the time to panic. This is not the time to worry. This is not the time to fret, because this is a time that you can adjust and rebound again. Responding to situations that happens is part of how we grow. That's part of how we test our leadership ability. That's part of how we test the fabric that we're made of. These too shall pass, like they always say. Reacting to situation never solves any problems. Reacting to situations makes things very, very chaotic. But when you are proactive, then you have a better way of helping other people to handle situation. Right now, we know COVID-19 is there, is what everybody is talking about. But why don't you and I shift that focus to something more energetic, something that would help us to navigate this time, something that would help us to respond proactively, because we are preparing. When you prepare, then you will be proactive in situations. How to move from uncertainty to certainty. We are in an uncertain time, but our goal is to get to that certainty. And how can we get to the certainty? We have to build ourselves. We have to build our fabric of what we are made of. We have to also understand what exactly are we facing? What are the priorities that we want to tackle? And who are the people that we need to be on the board? Who do we need to be around to help us with this navigation? This navigation will not be done by you alone. This navigation will be done through other people too. Through you knowing that we are in this together. This is a joint experience. Nobody has ever been through a situation whereby almost the whole world is shut down for one reason or the other. And everybody is trying to find an answer. Why don't you put yourself in that equation as an answer button? Why don't you make yourself an option as an answer? In the morning, we discussed that a lot of people who are wealthy, who have the resources financially, they're stepping up their game and they're saying, I'm going to help you build this. I'm going to help you do this. You and I can do that. We can help to ensure that the people around us do not have a negative energy. This is not the time to go into depression. This is the time to be around positivity and see how you can align yourself with what the opportunities are. Everything that funds will be built, will be used to build. They will need people, they will need talent, time, and treasure. Why don't you position yourself to be amongst those talent, time, and treasure that might be able to be a partaker in that? How to move from uncertainty to certainty can be very dicey, meaning with everyone, there are different strokes for everything that we're part of. For me, I like to be very proactive. When situations are overwhelming in my sight, after I've done my prayer and I just leave it on. I do my part. I keep moving. You align yourself and you keep doing. When I say keep moving, you're not forgetting whatever you are putting on the shelf. You're moving on to do other things to add value so that you're not bogged down, not seeing beyond your nose, whereby you're saying, this is what I can't do. Instead, you are helping other people live their dream and fulfill their dream. Are we prepared for anything? Do we think of that preparedness that is needed in life? Nobody prepared for COVID-19. You can say that. We see how different leaders are responding differently and how everyone sometimes point fingers, sometimes they're ready to roll their sleeve. But all in all, we're all dealing, for once in my own lifetime, we're dealing with the same issues right now. Everybody is trying to get rid of this virus that has shattered our economic fabric, everything that is us, restraining our movement. But this restraining of our movement is opportunity for you and I to see, what do we have? What do we carry that we can sell to the world? When I say sell to the world, that we can present to the world to make it a better place, to make it a place whereby you are always seen as a solution provider and a learner. Because a solution provider has to be a learner. Otherwise, you won't be able to grow. What attitude do you and I have at this point? Because our attitude will determine will determine our altitude. If our attitude is a losing attitude, whereby every time we turn on the TV, everybody is saying how many deaths, how many situations, then we are already losing the battle. But when we now say, my attitude is about positivity, we know this thing will have a solution. We all know that. It's the when we don't know. And the when we want it to be like yesterday, not tomorrow. So that's why everybody is going around making sure, thanks for joining. Everyone is going around trying to find a solution to one common problem. For once in my own life history, we have a common enemy. How cool is that? So now we know who to face. We're not distracted. But as people who are experts are finding solutions medically, you and I should not just sit and be watching and thinking, oh, it's, we are home, working from home. Guess what? The last time I checked, yesterday was the 29th of March. Saturday was the 28th. Today is the 30th. The clock has not stopped ticking for once. And before you and I blink, we will be in April. And even if they say work from home, if they say your movements are restricted, our minds are not restricted. This is the time to dig deep and to find out who are those board of directors we need to reconnect with again. And board of directors are for companies, but for the journey of our lives, we need strategic people that we can trust, that we can bounce things off of, that are for different things in our life. I said it earlier this morning. For me, it's just having different people to check in with who can hold me accountable. You can have a political mentor, you can have a business mentor, a church mentor, whatever and whoever you believe needs to be part of your life. This is the time to identify with them so that you don't feel like you are in this journey alone. It gets boring when we take a journey and we're alone. Every time I have to drive and I'm alone driving, if it's a long distance, it's boring. But when you are now with people, it can be very interesting. And when you are with people you have chosen, for whatever reasons you've chosen them, they better mean something And it better not just be that they can tell you everything you want to hear. You don't want all those people around you just because they want to tell you what you want to hear. You want people who can give you the direct feedback that will help you to be a better individual. And your attitude at this time is more critical than anything else. The attitude we carry right now is contagious. Just like this virus is contagious, our attitude is contagious. If we have this attitude of gloom and doom, and we just feel like, oh, everything is going wrong, they're saying this, they're saying that, don't watch it. Don't watch the TV. If the TV is depressing you, get the basic news that you need that is important for you to abide by the rules and regulations for the health safety. You don't have to know all the history of everything right now if you think that you can't handle it. So there should be no excuse to be listening to things that will poison our minds, that will make us now fret, become fragile, become weak, and become really nervous that we can't even think. For instance, if you're working from home or you're still working in this time, I bet you your employer have goals they have to meet. And I bet you they have not put everything on the shelf and say, we'll wait when we come back in June or when May or whenever the president and every of these professional deem it fit that is safe. They don't think like that. People are still having meetings. You're still planning. You might not be able to physically go and do something, but you're planning ahead of what is coming in the future. And that's what this is doing for us. And social media has really made it very easy. And it's not as hard as it always seems when we all have no choice other than to engage socially with the social media. And once you try it over and over, it becomes your friend. And you know you can engage, get results, and bingo, there you go. We always say that the world is a global village. We say it all the time. It's really a global village. It's not a cliche. It's the real deal. It is a real deal. The world is a global village. Right now, people would watch this eventually from other countries. And they might hear a word there that will benefit them. Or they might connect with someone who watched this. So you know it's a global village. So there are no excuses. And for those of us that are globally inclined and interested in global stuff, this is the time to position ourselves to ensure that our attitude is right. Because a lot of people are going to be weak in the spirit. When people have lost their businesses, they've lost things they've spent so many years to acquire. And now they have a threat of losing them or starting again when maybe they thought their game was about to be over, but now they're restarting. That's what I had to do about 5 years ago when I owned my own mortgage company and everything was going well. And when the meltdown came, that shut down everything. So I have been through, not COVID-19, I have been through a complete meltdown. And I'm still standing. So I know we're going to stand again. We're going to rise again from this COVID. And the lessons to be learned is always being ready to know what is that next step. Now we can't leave the house. Now my boss says work from home. Now my professor says it's online. All of those things you cannot change. How are you going to embrace it? As painful sometimes as it might be, for some of us that are not super guru with technology, we're learning, and as we're learning, it's not as hard, but it takes practice. But we're not in that age whereby technology is at our fingertips. We're learning, but the learning is not as painful. But when you're thinking about what you have to learn to change and to adjust, we overthink it. That overthinking makes you to think, oh, I don't think I can go live. I don't think I can do a Zoom. I don't think I can do an Easy Talk or any of these communication gadgets. Yes, you can. The first time might not be easy. You might have to fumble around it. We're human. Let the people know. So this is the time to make sure that you're gaining stance. This is the time to gain that advantage. A lot of people are probably slumbering and resting and just focusing on what they can't control. Why don't you be the extreme? Don't worry about what they're focusing on. Focus on you and how you can build great networks that will help your vision. Do you even have a vision? Do you have a dream? Go back to that, because I know we all do. Go back to that. If you don't, or you can't find it, get a blank piece of paper and go ahead and rewrite it again. Make it plain. When you write it this time, put some actionable steps. And because we're going to be homebound for another 30 days thereabout, we won't have a free movement yet, at least for another 30 days. Hello, 30 days is a long time. And a habit that you start now will be continuous. And once it's continuous, it's a part of you. And look at how many lives you would have touched just by starting to doing something that maybe you thought you didn't have time to do before. It might mean you wake up early. 24 hours would not, we won't have more than that. We will only have 24 hours. But everyone chooses what they want to do with their 24 hours. We can sleep 5 hours of it. We can sleep 8 hours of it. But whatever you decide to fit in is what you control. And when you consistently do that, it becomes a part of you. And then you will know that you can make time to do it even when we get back to the busyness of this life again. I just think that it's a wake-up call for us to sit still and to just enjoy sitting still for a change and understanding what exactly is going on. Some of it we don't understand. We just want we want cure for this. But as those who are worrying about curing and doing their curing, let's position ourselves for what is ahead. Some say, oh, they see recession, they see this, they see that. The stock market has gone almost flat. Yes, I hear you. I see that. I hear it. What are we going to do about it? What goes down will come back up. This is not the first time the stock market has gone down. It will come back again. But what if you and I do not position ourselves and think ahead that this is not the end of the world? When I suffered my meltdown, one thing that helped me to rebound was my mindset of knowing that it was not the end of the world. It was just going to mean I have to restart, even though I thought I was about to finish. So it was painful to restart, but it was fun because I restarted with what I am passionate about. It gave me the opportunity to be able to go full force with my passion of learning, inspiring, and growing. So that really was not as painful as it would have been, because I reset to say, if I was not paid, what exactly will I be doing with my time that I would enjoy? And it wouldn't be anything other than sharing, caring, and letting people know that it's possible. I had to lean on so many shoulders, being an immigrant that has been here for over 30-something years. And those shoulders, when they see me, I see how they beam. To see the Remy, the 17-year-old, and Remy now, the mother, the wife, the professional, they saw me go through all of that. So that is what we want to do with this platform, to be able to have all of us learn from each other and see how we can connect with one another, to know that with us working in collaboration, there's absolutely nothing we can't find solutions for. Every time that we engage, no matter whatever time it is, we engage intentionally, we proffer solutions. And navigating the times right now more than ever, it's so critical, because you will have to navigate. And sometimes some of us have navigation systems, some don't. We have the old car. I don't have navigation system in my car. I have it on my phone, but some still have it in their car. When we did have navigation systems, you put where you're going, bingo, your car takes you there. Now they've made it easy. So your navigation might not be the exact navigation that a BC would use, a Toby would use, or a Debbie would use. Your navigation strategy might be different than mine. But all I'm saying, do you have one? And if you don't, please have one. Because there's going to be a lot of reasons and needs to navigate so we can rebound again. Now they've restarted the whole world, because technically the whole world is locked down right now. So people are looking for solutions. They're looking for answers everywhere. So every possible where now is an answer key. So why don't you be one of the answer keys? So that when there's a need, you can show your genius and be that answer key for anyone in any part of the world. It's not about you carrying yourself there now. There are so many ways and things that you and I can do to navigate. I was saying to someone this morning that even though there's a meltdown, there's also, they're pumping money back in the economy everywhere in the world, not just America or Nigeria or Ghana or Europe. Money is being poured back. But how do you know this? If you don't know, if some of you that are listening to me or that will listen later knows, why don't you be that resource, that fountain of knowledge, so that you become that person that can provide that solution to someone who have a need for it? Because you might say, "Oh, Remy, I don't have any business. I don't have any need for. I'm not a small business, so I don't need to rebound. Blah blah blah." Whatever it is, you can be the one that will provide the solution to the small business. You can be the one that will let them know that these agencies are helping small business with their working capital, with this, with that. So every little bit helps. Or if you're in the category of someone who loses their job, the government is saying that people can go for unemployment. The government is putting a lot of things out so that we can rebound and rebuild the economy. It's not just going to be a one person rebuilding an economy. All of us are participants for the building. And what I'm saying is, I do not want us to be spectators. I want us to be participants. Will it be easy? Maybe not. Will it be tough? Sometimes. That's why your navigating system and other people's navigating system do not have to be the same. You just have to have a navigation system that you know makes sense to you, that at some point you might need to let it make sense to somebody with a different system. Like those who have navigation system in their car, they might not have caught on to the phone one where we all use. They just press the address, they're gone. So we might have to say, look, I can get to the same place, you all. You have it in your car because you have a bougie, nice car. I don't. I have a regular old car, but I have a navigation system. And the person might not know. So don't assume that if people shut you down or they ignore you, that maybe they're trying to undermine you. Not always. I found that out in corporate America. It's not always. Sometimes people are ignorant and they want to know. And you always give too much credit to people sometimes. So it's hard for them to even put themselves in a level, a pedestal that's normal, because you've already raised their ego. So it's not always because they want to have a reason to make you feel less of. They don't know. So if they don't know and you say, guess what? I have my own navigation system on my phone. Oh, really? Yes, really. Do you want to try it? Yes, shut your car navigation system off. Then we put my little old bitty Google or Waves or whoever we use. And that individual is learning, because now they say, ooh, they might not express it in a graphic way that you're thinking, so you don't look at them and say, oh, I thought you knew everything. You know, people have to kind of fake it till they make it. And then you use your little portable navigator on your phone and you arrive at the same place. I'm sure throughout the ride, that individual will be in amazement of what you've just shown them. But you could have let them shut you down and say, oh, I have the navigation system in my car works better. None works better than the other. That's the mindset of that individual. That individual thinks because they have this bougie car, it's expensive, they have the navigation system because it's built in, and they have the money to afford all of it, all the niceties are there. Now, they think that's the only solution. But you as a navigator, because that's what you're going to need to do this time, to convince people, or even to just do you. Keep doing things that people will need. Add value. We're home now. Who can you add value to? Students are home from school. Some parents don't have jobs now. A lot of things are happening. Some people are healthcare providers. Are we making sure when they get home, we give them that TLC, that tender loving care, so that they can relax, because they've just gone out to the field to risk their lives to save other people's lives. So when they come to the home, come back home, or wherever wherever they work, we should be able to welcome them back home. So this is a time, not like before, that the playing field is so level. It is so level that you don't even want to even think of it. So this thriving, we're going to thrive through trying times, because some of us see it as trying times. And to be honest, I'm not going to take away from that. If that's the way you see it, I respect it. If you also see it as an opportune time, I respect it. Or if you say, you know what, I'm even confused. I have no clue what time this is it. I have no clue. I respect that too, because some days it's a confusing day. Some days you see clearly that, okay, they're going to have the chloroquine or whatever they need to have to cure this. And then the next day, they're telling you the number of deaths. So there's a lot of news. And now you're thinking, I just lost my job. Now my employers can't pay me because they don't have income coming for them. The hotels are shut down. The restaurants doing carry out. How many people want to eat out right now when they don't even have income that they know will be coming in? They're going to want to be kind of tight-fisted with their money. So now they have to go and buy the food. So these restaurants that say we have carry out, so they have to have some ridiculous sales for you to even think that they exist. So it's every one of us that's feeling this pain. And guess what? This too shall pass. And when it passes, we need to have established ourselves. That is the message that we are going to be bringing to you. We need to have established ourselves to see what is the lesson that you and I have learned from this. What is the lesson that we would learn? Who would we need to meet to help us accelerate the next level that we've been yearning to get to, that we say, oh, I don't have time, I'm so busy. Sometimes working from home is busy, but you can still manage your schedule in a way. If you have to wake up an hour or two early before the commitment for the homework that you're doing from home, do that, because you won't have to be so stressed driving everywhere. So don't give excuses. We do not want excuses. What we want is the ability of all of us to know that this thriving, we're all going to thrive through this trying times. And this trying times is going to bring the best out of us. It will. I'm serious. It will bring the best out of us, because there's that positive energy in the air. You just need to find it. Stay away from the negative energy, because there's a lot of that. And because those people are still in that overwhelming, confusing stage, they're not in that stage that they have a clarity. That's why they need you and I to be that voice of hope. So they know that, okay, right now, all the puzzles, all the answers are not there, but I can get the answers if I start right, if I align with this positive group by accepting that the change is here, and that's all we can get. The change is here, but how do we get beyond hiding and complaining that the changes are not allowing us to be who we want to be? Find a way to recreate yourself so you can adapt yourself to the new way of life. And at the end of the day, you will find the result. Respond to the situation. When you are reacting makes everything seem so overwhelming. And you don't want to be overly reactive, because people might not understand where you're coming from. So when you react suddenly, you can shut people out of your life. You can shut people out of your journey. And you might not be able to reconnect quickly with them, because at the end of the day, there might never be a medium to communicate, to re-communicate and restate what both parties meant. So think of that and know that how to move from uncertainty to certainty. This is uncertain times right now. And the best way to move out starts in your mind. Your mindset, your mind and my mindset have to be strong. It has to be positively charged, that no matter what we watch, if we think whatever we're watching is destructive. Let's shut it down. Don't watch it. We have the convincing mind. After all, we have to live, right? We're going to be alive by the grace of God. So we have to continue to ensure that we live right and we have that job, that our business comes alive again, that we continue to bubble and be able to do whatever we were doing before. So no need to be alarmed. No need to mope around. No need to have attitudes against anybody. No finger pointing. This is not the time for that. This is the time to truly wear that positive attitude. So as people, the change makers, the impact drivers are looking for partners to connect with, to do 1 or 2 assignments, we are lined up. We're in the front row of people that they would engage. And trust me, it's very possible. This world is a very small world. And people are looking for people they can trust and that they like. In the business world, people only do business with people they like and they trust before they even go to the competency. There's so many competent people out there, you know it. But the two things are so germane because you have to be able to trust someone. And once you trust them, you're going to like them because you will get to work together. And together you're building. So you lay out your facts. What do you need from that person? So I know my time is almost up. I have 2 more minutes to wrap this up because I need to jump on the Instagram live too for another session. But I do thank you all for joining. VC, thank you so much. And other people that I don't see your names on here, I thank you. And those who would watch it later, thank you in advance. If this is valuable to you, please share it. This is not the time to hoard information. If anything we've said tickles your fancy and you believe that there's someone out there, maybe who is in a gloom and doom mentality right now, just shoot this to them. Let them listen to it. So rather than you being the one conversing and talking, you could just let them listen to it. You never know where it will plant a seed in their heart. So I thank you all very much for joining. We're going to do this every day in the morning, 7 to 7:30. And of course, in the evening, 5 to 5:30. And then on Instagram, that will be 7:30 to 8 in the morning. And of course, in the evening, it's technically supposed to be 5:30 to 6. But I will jump on the Instagram now. And then clearly, it will be over by maybe 6:05. Thank you so much for joining. See you on top. Be a blessing. God bless.